Welcome everybody to our first learning lunch of 2024. I'm really excited to be here. We had January off, like many of you, just like regrouping and pulling things together for the new year and making a plan. I am your host, Michelle Jones. I'm the director of the Mindwell Collective, which is the group that is bringing these learning lunches to you. We are a group of wellness professionals, and my favorite thing about this group is how we collaborate and support each other in the passion that we have to work with people individually, but also to just bring understanding and compassion to our communities, right? To be able to bring that to each one of you today. The collective is sponsored by IntegrateTrauma.com. I am a trauma coach and trainer. I work with clients one-on-one, and I train coaches and practitioners to guide clients to process trauma. I personally am really passionate about bringing hope to others and helping them to understand their bodies, their experiences, and to feel really empowered and develop that internal safety so that they can move forward from survival into creating a life that resonates for them. And as I was thinking about each one of you today, as you are joining us, I was thinking whether you're here live this minute, or I know many are going to be catching this on YouTube, welcome. I am so glad you're here. In a time when we can often feel like really alone in our challenges and our journey to gain a stronger sense of well-being, I think that these learning lunches are one of our ways of connecting to you. So we offer you our support, our compassion, understanding that as you come here to learn about healing and wellness on a deeper level, we want for you to know that just the fact that you're here means that you are included. So we are glad that you are here. As we are all coming together, we've come from many different places doing many different things. We're trying out this new time at 11 a.m. And chances are most of us have been doing things before we came here to this moment at 11. So I want to take a moment and just bring us all together to give us some space to connect back in with our bodies and to honor that you have set aside time to be here today. So I want for you, if you're in a position where you can do that, if you're driving, don't do this, but if you're in a position where you can, I'll invite you to close your eyes. And we're just going to take a nice deep breath. Really, maybe this is the biggest breath you've taken all day, really filling in your lungs. And as you are taking these deep breaths, I'm just going to, feeling directed to just connect us to our bodies for a minute. I want to invite you to just notice what sensations might be showing up in your body right now. Here is the best part. I'm not giving you a job. You don't have to do anything about the things that you are noticing. We're just going to notice what is happening in your feet as they are maybe on the floor or tucked up underneath you. What sensations are you noticing in your legs? Maybe you feel numbness. Maybe you just feel neutral in these areas. Maybe there's some other sensations going on. All of it is allowed. I'm going to invite you to notice your belly and your back, your chest, your shoulders, all the way down your arms to your fingertips. Invite you to take another big deep breath here. Thank you, body. Noticing your throat and your neck, your jaw. If you're like me, maybe you hold a little tension there sometimes. Noticing your face all the way up to the top of your head. And as you are here in connection to your body, you can take another couple deep breaths if that feels good to you. I'm going to invite you to consider your intention for our time together today. Maybe there is something about this topic that you felt particularly drawn to, breath work and connecting to our nervous system. Maybe you are wanting connection. Maybe you would like to learn or understand something about yourself better or gain some new tools. What is it that you are hoping to get from our time together today? Beautifully done. When you are ready, I'll just invite you to open your eyes and come back into this space. Okay, a couple of new faces showed up while we were doing our connection, and it brings me joy to see you. Um, Today, we are going to be experiencing our nervous system in different states, which is kind of exciting. Michelle from 10 years ago would have been like, what are you even talking about? So obviously we are all on our learning journeys here, right? But Danielle is going to take us through a short breathwork session. And I'm sure she's going to speak to us about some of the benefits of longer breathwork sessions as well. That is going to guide us to turn our nervous system on fully. And for many, this allows our nervous system to have a reset. So if we're looking for a great reset start to our February, welcome. And this can really open us up to be in a space to train our brain to relax and focus. So let me introduce Danielle before I turn the time over to her. Danielle is an emotional resilience and trauma coach based in Queen Creek, Arizona, but she sees clients virtually and in person. And because she's a rock star, she uses 4 different modalities depending on what you are needing to help you process trauma and emotions that are held within your body. She has a belief that each one of us has the ability to heal. And I'm just going to tap in and say, absolutely, yes, I believe that too. As we tap into our minds, bodies, and spirit and our hearts to create the right environment within. Danielle, I've never thought about that phrase, environment within, but I love that kind of like the way that you worded that, because we experience so much of the world completely based on what my inner experience is at any moment, right? So what a beautiful way to phrase that. And to live our purpose with intention. So welcome, Danielle. I'm going to turn the time over to you. We will have time. One of the things that we love about this, like a little bit longer form, is that we'll have time for a Q&A where you can ask questions of Danielle after we've had this experience with her. So take it away, friend.
Great. The only thing I might be concerned about is being able to share my music. So I'm not sure how to do that other than presentation mode.
When we get there, if you put it up by your microphone, that should work just fine, but I will give you feedback if I can hear that well.
Okay. Because I'm a Zoom master, but Google Meet is still kind of one of those things I'm learning to know.
Look at all of us being on our learning journey today. I love it. I love it. Opening up some new brain pathways.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Exciting. I'm excited to be here and be with all of you today. Breathwork has been something that has changed me the moment I did it. Probably, I would say it was a year ago, maybe a little bit longer. And it was in person, so a little bit different experience, but it allowed me to go inward. And the idea with somatic breathwork is that it is purely somatic, so meaning body. Somatic means body. So how many times are we told to sit still, be quiet, don't move? And really, our bodies are made to move the emotion and the energy that is within, because emotions are a form of energy within the body. And so for them to move, we have to move. So as you're experiencing breath work, on longer journeys, I have you lay down, and you're really an opportunity to be in your own space. But this is a much shorter journey where you can do it right where you are, sitting in your chair, sitting on the ground, sitting in your car, wherever you may be, in order to just release some stress, just allowing yourself to get connected. I love that Michelle started off with a little bit of body scanning to be able to connect our bodies. And so that was a perfect start. So somatic breathwork is really becoming grounded within your breath, becoming connected to your body, and learning to be safe inside of our body. A lot of us have experienced so many things that have taught us not to be safe within. So your breath is your life force, right? A lot of cultures talk about that, but there's so much truth to that. No breath, no life. Okay, so think about it that way. So the idea of breath work is we are going to do 2 rounds that are short, I would say 3 to 5 minutes, kind of depending on the music. And we're here to put our bodies into a more heightened state. And what that allows us to do is find the stress, find out what needs to be cleared within. And we're going to do 2 breath holds, and I'm going to guide you through that. And then we'll do 2 shorter rounds where we're breathing and it's more relaxed. So we're going to heighten it and then bring it down. So as we heighten it, you're breathing in and out of the mouth. So it will look like this. And you're not raising your shoulders. You're filling your belly as if it was a big hot air balloon, and then releasing. So a quick inhale through the mouth and then release. Okay. Second half will be in through the nose and out the mouth. And this is where we get to bring that nervous system back down to more of a baseline. And it goes in through the nose and then a forceful exhale through the mouth. All right. And I'll guide you through that. As we do this, I will be kind of cueing you on different things to think about. You might be tuned into what I'm saying. You might not. You might be able to go into a deeper part of the brain and allowing yourself to be able to process some of that stress, some of that emotional baggage that we carry around with us, because we all have some, right? So, and as Michelle started, she asked for a word of intention, and that is so huge. I love to start with that. So if you have a minute where you can, or something to write it down with, write that word down. And I want you to be thinking about that as we go through this and how it pertains to you and this breathwork session, okay? So
Danielle, before you get started, I just want to clarify that we're kind of like when I talked with us about our intention, that's just sort of our overall intention, but you're wanting us to come up with a single word that we can like return back to as we're going through this experience.
Yes. So I love to come up with a word, whether it's peace, love, connection, maybe abundance, expansion, whatever comes to you, like whatever came to you, that's your intuition coming in and knocking on the door and letting you know, this is what you need. And whatever that, I mean, I have people that come up with it, play, ease, you know, it can literally anything. This is your word because it pertains directly to you. So what do you need in this moment? What does your body need in this moment? What does your nervous system need in this moment?
Beautiful. Thank you.
All right. So as we breathe, again, you're going to be filling up your belly full of air. You might feel some tightness. You might start feeling things throughout your body. Allow it to go. Sometimes people will shake their hands. Any movement is okay. So I don't want you to feel like you can't do that. Great. So I'll just challenge you to surrender. Surrender for the next 15 to 20 minutes, allowing a space for you to heal, to relieve some stress, whatever might be blocking that word of intention, because that intention is already within you, but a lot of times there's boxes of stuff stacked around it. So what I'll have you do is we're going to breathe and I'll keep the time for us. We'll breathe for 2 minutes. Doing that in and out of the mouth breathing. So this is what I do morning breath work, that it's simple. It's 5 minutes. It allows you to get your body and nervous system online in the morning. So if you just start breathing with me, you can have your eyes closed. That's the best way possible to do it. So in through the mouth and out. So find a rhythm that works for you. Find a cadence that works for you. So in through the mouth and out. In, out. There we go. So we're just going to hold this for 2 minutes, in and out through the mouth. Just finding the stress, clearing the stress that might be in the way. Allowing the body cadence to take over. Deep breaths in through the mouth and out through the mouth. Filling the belly nice and full. Letting it go. And with each breath, just releasing that stress. Releasing the doubt. And just keep breathing in and out of the mouth at a cadence that feels good and comfortable. Just in and out of the mouth, finding the stress everywhere from your head up to your toes, down to your toes, in and around your legs, your shoulders, and releasing it with every exhale. All right, we're going to go in for a breath hold, and you're going to take a deep breath in and release. The next inhale, and hold right here, nice and full, belly full, and just sit in the stillness. Go ahead and release the breath. Take a big inhale in and release. Okay, we're going to switch the breathing now through in through the nose and out the mouth. This is where kind of bring in our intention, allowing us to connect and find that word of intention that we had, whether that was play, calm, peace, abundance, maybe focus. So it looks like this, in through the nose, and a forceful exhale through the mouth. Finding a cadence that really works for you. All right, we're bringing the nervous system kind of back down to the baseline, allowing us to kind of connect with that word. And I'll keep time as we breathe in through the nose and out, in through the nose. Bringing in that word of intention, defining that within your body and breathing it into each cell. Making that belly nice and full and exhaling it out. Continue to breathe in through the nose and out the mouth. In through the nose. Bringing that all in. Bringing that nervous system back down. And feeling that calm. Very good. All right, take one more big inhale through the nose. Hold it there. And release. And allowing your body just to sit in the stillness right here, empty of air. Great. Awesome. If you want to come back into the room that you're in, that is a 5-minute morning breath work that I do, just sitting wherever. A lot of times it might be in a chair or even on my bed. That helps me be able to connect and meet and greet the day. And even being able to do that later in the day, because we get overwhelmed, right? We get dysregulated, we get overstimulated, and that gives us a chance to kind of like balance everything out and bring us back to a good baseline that helps us be able to clear our mind. So
Danielle, I noticed one really interesting thing that you did is have different, like even though it's just 5 minutes, there's different types of breaths going on.
yes.
So tell us a little bit more about why using more than one breath pattern might be helpful.
Okay. So like I said, that first half is you're kind of ramping up the nervous system, and that's really done on purpose, right? As you can teach your body that we can ramp up that nervous system and get it kind of elevated, and you're still in a safe environment, right? Because a lot of times it happens in an unsafe environment or an environment that is scary or overwhelming, or we could use a lot of adjectives for that. But when we can bring it in up online at a ramped up spot, right? We're in that nervous system state, fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. It teaches our body that we can trust it. Like it gives it permission to be in those states in a safe environment. So that's why we do that. But we also want to bring the body back down, and in through the nose and out the mouth is the best way to do that. But it's a forceful exhale that really allows that to move through the body and out, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What a powerful way really for us to like have that experience within 5 minutes, that here I am in the same place with the same circumstances, and yet I can bring my body through these different internal states.
Yeah.
And I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay when my nervous system is elevated and activated, right? And I'm also okay when I'm feeling this calm, settled feeling inside. And I don't know, like if there's a phrase in somatic breath work that kind of encapsulates that, but I think of like that, this idea of like internal safety is like kind of relearning because as like babies, we already know that we are safe, but I think sometimes because of our life experiences, we have to relearn that we're safe in our bodies, no matter what sensations we're having.
Amen. Yeah. So really, somatic breath work is about repatterning within.
I love that. Okay. Before I go into questions, is there anything else that you would like to share? I just have like my own questions, and I know we have some questions coming in the chat too.
Yeah. Laura's asking about, yes, I can share definitely the links for sure. I can put it in the chat too.
Well, especially because now there's a lot of suspense around the music. So now we are all dying to know, what does this music sound like?
Right.
We would like this experience. If you would like, Danielle, you can share it with me, and I can send it out in the email with the replay if you'd like.
Awesome. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. So part of, music, as Laura knows, because she's a sound healer, but music is another way for us to move energy right within us. And so that first half is definitely more upbeat, tribal music and sounding, right? And so then the second half is definitely more low key, very slow. But that is all to get things moving within, because it is really an inward journey for you. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. It is all right in here and being able to turn inward, because again, you're doing your healing, you're processing motions that are held within.
Yeah, beautiful. For any of you that haven't had a chance to experience the sound with Laura, like I would say even one step further, when you can actually feel the reverberations in your body from the sound bowls. And even I went to a meditation workshop earlier this month, and as part of our chanting, someone had brought in a drum, and it really like changed the whole thing. Like my experience, like totally amplified because of that. So that makes so much sense to me. And I love how so many of these different tools and resources, we can like overlap them and make like a customized experience for what we are needing with our bodies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
I'll just throw out there too. Monday night, I'm down in Queen Creek. We are doing a full 1 hour somatic breathwork journey, 7:30. It's a Galentine's event, so it's just for women. But I also work with men and teenagers to some degree, some older ones. But I invite you all to come and experience that, because it is powerful to know you have the power to heal. It is so empowering to me, to be able to process, to be able to clear so much. And it's all eyes closed. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing in the room, right? And so, yeah, so it is. And we're also combining Reiki with that, which is optional. I have a Reiki specialist coming, and she's working on whoever would like to during somatic breath work. I know some people are kind of turned off by that, but it is all energy, and emotions are energy, right?
Yeah, I love that. Which like actually blends really well. One of the questions that has come up in the chat is, do you have any tips for helping little ones do breath work? Because Tori is sharing that she has a toddler with a lot of emotions, which is weird because usually toddlers really chill, no emotions at all. So that's super weird that maybe this is the case. But yes, like how can we translate this down for little children? Like what have you observed and noticed there?
Yeah. I don't know how verbal this little person is, but I'm a big believer in getting down onto their level. And when you can get down onto their level and look them in the eye and be like, let's just take a breath, and then being able to breathe, whether it's in through their nose or in through their mouth, either way, like their body is overstimulated, as all of us know that. But just being able to breathe, like, okay, and then get them to work through the nose if you can. Sometimes they're crying and snotting all over the place, and so that makes it harder. But just getting them to breathe will bring the nervous system back down onto a more regulated level so then you can connect with them, right?
So, so I'm wondering if this is accurate. One of the things that I've noticed, whether it's someone who's like a little toddler or just like acting like a little toddler, like if we can slow the like rate of breath down, I've noticed that that can often be really helpful, right? Whether we're like angry or really like sad and overwhelmed, I've kind of observed that the breath tends to get faster.
Yep.
Right. And so being able to just like focus on just like slow that down a little bit can be kind of helpful. I know, Tori, something that I've seen, and I don't know if you have specific resources you would recommend, Danielle, but there's all kinds of little things. I know my daughter has used one before where they're little things where they can like move their finger over it, like kind of picture visuals.
Yeah.
Like breathe in across the rainbow, breathe out back across the rainbow, breathe in across the rainbow. So sometimes having like something to like focus on can be for some kids, right?
Yeah.
It is different in what they will respond to.
Yeah. Some are tactile. Some of them want their hands to be held, right? So like I have a niece who's 3 who is autistic. If I can hold her hands and I can get her to, and I'm rubbing, right? Because she's tactile, she's high sensory needs. So if I can get her and I'm just going at a rhythm, right? That's really what kids need in order to regulate their breathing is a rhythm. So tapping is another thing. That's why like it's soothing, right? For babies to get that pat on the back. I don't know if you can, but just getting that pat on the back or the pat on the bum, like my kids were bum patters. They liked that. So that rhythmic, tapping or patting can get them to then also bring down their breath. But yeah, box breathing. So that's 4 seconds in, hold for 4 seconds, 4 seconds out, hold for 4 seconds, and just keep going like this. And you can draw a square. I would say this is more children, but you can draw a square on the paper and have them count. You can count, they can breathe, right? To help them. Another one is butterfly breathing. This is one of my favorites for my kids. So you link your thumbs and you're here and you're patting. So it's a combination. So every time you count in 3 taps and out 3 taps, or whatever cadence feels good. Some kids want 8 inhales and 8 exhales, but it's really just finding the rhythm and having some kind of touch, right? Because when we use our hands, a lot of times it activates both sides of the brain. So that's why this will allow us to be able to then pull and engage both sides of the brain to be able to relax, right? Because anxiety, right? Everything is like out. Blood flow goes out to the extremities. It's like this nervousness. And then you almost have like this out of body experience. At least that's what happens to me. But this connecting the 2 hands, this also for like teenagers. Like I have a teenager that does this. All of that. So counting, breathing in, or naming things, naming all 5 things that she can see, and naming, 5 things she can hear, 5 things she can, there's lots of ways to do the 5 senses with that one as well. Hopefully that helps.
One of the things that I've noticed, maybe it's easier to notice now that I don't have a toddler at home anymore. My youngest is 15, so everything's way easier now, right? But like looking back on it, I wish I had given myself permission to like calm myself first. So even if they're like freaking out and feeling very emotional and overwhelmed, like it's okay to take a 2 minutes and like tune it out to calm you down first. I just think how that would have revolutionized my entire experience as a mom if I had like known and understood that way earlier.
Yes.
And like truth be told, that's still something that I do with my teenager too, right? Like, okay, I'm just going to take a minute and calm me down before we have a conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, I don't know if that's helpful to hear as well. Like you're allowed to just take care of you first. All right, Angie has a question. Where can she sign up for the workshop on Monday night? Do you want to send me the link and I'll put it in the email?
Yeah, I would be happy to. It's off my website. It's super easy. But
Beautiful.
yeah, it's in so my friend has a huge basement and her name is Nora, and she's like, we're doing this and we're doing it often. And I'm like, great. So it's in her home, and we've done plenty of breath work there, and there's plenty of space. And it's quite amazing when ladies and gentlemen get together to be able to heal in a collective space, and everyone's there for the same reason, right?
Okay.
So,
Any other questions? I loved what you said too, Danielle, about how like one of the most beautiful things I think about learning some kind of breathwork practice is that it's very portable. We have it with us no matter where we go. And so what a beautiful thing to start your day. I may not always think of that because like the first thing I'm doing is like taking the puppy outside and doing all the things.
yeah.
But I love this idea when you were like, even in the middle of the day, you're finding yourself like, here's this relatively short, always available thing that you can do in order to bring yourself back.
Yeah. I have a client that does it in the middle of the day. She's a hairstylist and she works like 312s. And she's like, sometimes I get overwhelmed. And I'm like, okay, well, let's come up with a plan. So she takes her phone into the bathroom and she does 1 minute of the in and out of the mouth, and then a breath hold for 30 seconds, and then 1 minute of in through the nose and out the mouth. She locks herself in the bathroom. That's just what she does. And it helps her be able to become less stimulated, so she's able to then complete her day. So it can really be adapted, and you can do it anywhere.
Yeah, I love that.
I've sat on an airplane and done it. So
yeah, that's even more portable. One of the things that I do is I'll have like a 1 minute like dance break when I feel just like not centered. I'll put on a really fun song and just move my body to like recenter. But sometimes there's places where that's not as, easy to do. Maybe on an airplane is one of them. Maybe the breath work is an even more portable option for that. I feel like if Laura was sitting next to me though, we would rock the dance party on an airplane. It would be fine. Okay, I want to give us a minute if I'm going to direct everybody to go back to the beginning when we talked about what our intentions were for this time together today. I'm going to give you a moment, like pull that up. It was almost an hour ago, so that may be like a brand new thing to pull that back to the forefront. And I'm just going to invite you to reflect on that. Is there something that you really want to take forward from our time together today? Is there something that felt really meaningful to you? Maybe a practice that you felt like you would like to start, like an action that you want to do. Maybe there's just a person on here that you are feeling like, oh, I want to connect more with them. Or maybe what do you just want to remember? You can share in the chat if you would like, and we will cheer you on in your reflection, or this can just be a thought internally. I'll just give you a minute for that. Beautiful. Would anyone like to share what they want to do moving forward? I decided I'm going to take my own advice, and the next time my teenager is driving me crazy, I'm going to do like 1 or 2 minutes of some breath work. That'll be my experiment for the next couple weeks because she gives me lots of opportunity. It's great. Lots of learning experiences to jump in with that. Okay. Danielle, where can people connect with you? How can they find you? How can they sign up to work with you? You can, I saw that you just put that down on your in the chat, but go ahead and just tell us.
Yeah, so I have a website. It's embracingulc.com, and that's where you can schedule. I've got some workshops. I do one-on-ones, do life coaching, do trauma coaching, brain spotting, some other stuff. So, and virtually. So if it's better for you to be at home, it all can be done there, or you can come. I have an in-home office like Michelle does. And what else?
And her music works on her Zoom, so you don't need to worry about that experience, right? And while we were talking, I figured out the trick, so we'll know that for next time.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us. I know that there is always so much going on, and it is a joy, the people who are able to come and join live, but also for those who are joining us on YouTube, you have shared your time with us today as well. So this concludes our February Learning Lunch. We're going to see you next month. We are going to be having another deep dive, and I think we are learning, we're doing art next month. I'm really excited about this. We're going to be talking about kind of creating a vision for ourselves, and we're going to be doing this with art right alongside Deborah Lee Murrow, who's our artist, who's going to be guiding us through that. And you don't need more than paper and a pencil, so it'll be very simple. So with that, I just want to thank you, and we will see you next time.